What if I told you your cat has rules they expect you to follow? Would you know what they are? Most owners think they do, but cats have silent expectations that go way beyond food, water, and attention. These are unspoken rules your cat tests you on every single day. And if you keep breaking them, which most people do without realizing it, your cat won't tell you. They'll just quietly lose trust in you. Let's start with the one almost everyone gets wrong. 1. Staring into your cat's eyes. Have you ever looked straight into your cat's eyes and wondered why they suddenly turned away? You probably thought nothing of it. Maybe they got distracted. But here's what was actually happening. In cat language, direct eye contact is not love. It's challenge. When you lock eyes with your cat and hold that stare, even for a few seconds too long, your cat reads it as a threat. It's hardwired into their instincts. In the wild, a prolonged stare between two cats is what happens right before a fight. So every time you gaze into those beautiful eyes, thinking you're sharing a moment, your cat is sitting there wondering why you're being aggressive. A study published in the journal Animal Cognition found that cats actively avoid eye contact with people who stare at them directly, but move closer to people who blink slowly and look away. That's not a coincidence. That's your cat telling you the rules. The right move is simple. Look at your cat softly, give a slow blink, and then look away. That's the real way to say I love you in their world. And if you've been staring without knowing this, don't worry. But pay close attention to the last section of this video, because where your cat sleeps at night actually reveals whether they've forgiven you for breaking rules like this one. The answer might surprise you. 2. Petting your cat for too long. Why does your cat go from purring on your lap to suddenly biting your hand out of nowhere? You didn't do anything wrong. At least that's what it felt like. But here's the truth. You did do something wrong. You just didn't know when to stop. Cats have a neurological threshold for physical touch. Once you cross it, what started as pleasure turns into overstimulation, and when that switch flips, your cat isn't being mean. They're telling you that you broke the rule. Researchers call it petting-induced aggression. It happens because the repeated stimulation on their skin starts to irritate the nerve receptors. Think of it like someone rubbing the same spot on your arm over and over. At first it feels nice, then it gets uncomfortable, then it's unbearable. The signs are always there before the bite. Their tail starts twitching, their ears flatten slightly, their skin ripples along the back. Most owners miss every single one of those signals because they're too focused on how cute the moment is. The rule is simple: pet in short sessions. When you see any of those signals, stop. Let your cat decide when they want more. That's not rejection. That's your cat teaching you how they want to be loved. And hey, before we move on, if this is already changing the way you see your cat, hit like and subscribe so we can reach more owners who want to learn the rules their cat will never meow about. 3. Moving their favorite spot. You know that one spot your cat always sleeps in? What happens when you move the blanket, rearrange the couch, or toss out that old box they loved? Most owners don't think twice about it. You're just cleaning up. But to your cat, you just destroyed something that belonged to them. Cats don't see your home the way you do. They map their entire world through scent and territory. Every spot they claim gets marked with the pheromones from their face and paws. That's their way of saying, this is mine, this is safe, I belong here. So when you move their favorite blanket to a different room or rearrange the furniture, your cat doesn't just feel annoyed. They feel displaced. That sense of security they built around that spot is suddenly gone. And they have no idea why. A study from the Journal of Feline Medicine and Surgery found that environmental disruption is one of the top triggers of stress in indoor cats. Something as small as moving a bed to the other side of the room can cause anxiety, loss of appetite, and even litter box avoidance. The rule here is respect what they've claimed. If your cat has chosen a spot, that's not random. That's a decision. And if you absolutely need to move something, do it gradually. Shift it a little at a time so your cat can adjust without feeling like their safe space just vanished overnight. 4. Talking to them while they eat. Do you ever talk to your cat while they're eating? Maybe you stand nearby and say something sweet while they munch away. It feels harmless, right? But your cat doesn't see it that way, not even close. In the wild, mealtime is one of the most vulnerable moments for any cat. Their head is down, their senses are focused on the food, and their guard is lower than at any other point in the day. That instinct doesn't disappear just because they live indoors now. So when you hover over their bowl, talk to them, or reach down to pet them mid-meal, your cat's survival brain kicks in. They can't fully relax into eating because part of their mind is now tracking you. Even if they don't run away, the stress is happening internally. You just can't see it. What you can see is the aftermath. Cats who feel pressured during meals start eating too fast, and that leads to vomiting, food guarding, or even avoiding the bowl altogether. And in multi-cat households, the same thing can happen even without you standing there. When food bowls are placed too close together, the presence of another cat creates that exact same pressure. So even if you walk away, they still don't feel safe eating at their own pace. The rule is simple. When your cat is eating, give them space. No talking, no touching, no standing over them. And if you have more than one cat, give each one their own spot to eat. Those few minutes at the bowl belong to them and only them. 5. Ignoring them when you walk in. When you come home after a long day, what's the first thing you do? Toss your keys, check your phone, kick off your shoes. But have you ever noticed your cat was right there waiting for you? Most owners walk right past them without a second thought. And to you, it's nothing. You're tired, you're distracted, you'll pet them later. But to your cat, that moment meant everything. Cats don't greet casually. When your cat shows up at the door or watches you walk in from across the room, that's a deliberate choice. They're acknowledging you, and they expect you to acknowledge them back. This isn't neediness. It's a social ritual that cats take seriously. Researchers who study feline behavior have found that cats form greeting patterns with their owners, just like they do with other cats they trust. A slow approach, a tail up, maybe a soft chirp. That's their version of saying, "I noticed you and I'm glad you're here." When you ignore that moment, your cat doesn't throw a fit. They just quietly file it away, and over time those missed greetings add up. Your cat starts meeting you at the door less. They stop chirping when you walk in. Not because they stopped caring, because they learned that you don't follow that rule. The fix takes 3 seconds. When you walk in, give your cat a slow blink, say something soft, and that's it. That's all they ever wanted from you. 6. Where your cat sleeps at night. Have you ever wondered why your cat chooses to sleep where they do? Maybe it's on your chest at the foot of the bed, or in a completely different room. You probably never thought much of it, but that choice is the most honest thing your cat will ever tell you. Remember earlier when we talked about staring into your cat's eyes and how they read that as a threat? This is where it all comes together, because where your cat sleeps is the final verdict on how safe they truly feel around you. A cat who sleeps on your chest or curled up near your face is telling you something powerful. They're placing themselves at their most vulnerable, in their deepest state of unconsciousness, right next to the person they trust more than anyone. That's not just comfort, that's complete surrender. A cat who sleeps at the foot of the bed still trusts you, but they're keeping a little distance. They want to be close, but they also want an easy exit. That's not rejection. That's a cat who's still learning your patterns and making sure you're safe to fully let their guard down around. And a cat who sleeps in another room entirely. That doesn't mean they don't love you, but it might mean something in your daily routine is making them feel unsure. Maybe it's one of the things we talked about today that you didn't even realize you were doing. The beautiful thing is, none of this is permanent. Every single day is a new chance to follow the rules your cat has been quietly waiting for you to understand. And now you know what they are.